but I did want you to know the agenda before we started. So if we have a PowerPoint we can present. One second, you should see it come up. Some of you who may be not too savvy with Zoom may notice some of the guest pictures are on there, which is blocking the PowerPoint for you. If you want to minimize or change it, just click on the line or the box on the very top left of where all of us are being seen. Okay, so you can just adjust it that way. This is our 2021 Ready Set Kindergarten event, hoping to give you as much information as we can for your incoming kindergartners next year. Our agenda includes introductions later, after I give you a little bit of points of pride about Starkey that I'm so proud about. We'll give you introductions to who your specialists for your students are. These are teachers that will touch your children's day one way or another, as well as all our kindergarten team teachers. I'm going to tell you about our school, and then the teachers are going to take over by giving you a presentation on what a day in kindergarten looks like. We know it's going to look a little different next year than this year, which looks different than we've had it in the past, and we'll get a little bit more of that later. And then we'll conclude with questions and answers session. This is being recorded so that we can make sure it's easily accessible to our families that weren't able to make it tonight. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that. To begin with Starkey, we are a highly academically rigorous school. On state assessments, we typically either score an A or a B rating, and it's been that way for at least 16 years. Now, last year, due to COVID, state testing was not administered, but I am very positive that we would have gotten that A. I wish we would have tested just so that we could brag about that as well. The state has an award called the 5-Star Award, which is only given to schools who meet 100% of the criteria in 5 different areas, based on parent involvement, community participation, and we were able to achieve that award. I believe we're the school in the running of all the schools in the county of having had it for the longest time, since 1995. Healthy living is an important part, and we are recipients of an award that puts us on the healthiest schools list in America. We got that award in 2018 and 2019, and because of COVID, the year could not finish on the same track, so they did not give that award to any school. You may be familiar with AVID. It's Achievement via Determination, and it's very popular in middle and high schools, and a lot of elementary schools have it, not all of them, and it's where the students are taught organizational skills, note-taking skills, collaboration skills, and it helps them really get ready for college, but also any career that they choose. And then we have daily technology integration. We have laptops, iPads, Kindles, desktops, mobile computer labs, 3 computer labs, stationary computer labs. Our classrooms are very blessed with technology. We also have a very active PTA and a school advisory council that oversees our school improvement plan and its budget. Our PTA is marvelous at hosting a lot of events that have been traditions here at Starkey for a long, long time. And I was just mentioning to Ms. Harris, our assistant principal, how sad I am that right about now we would have been planning for our family Valentine's dance that we won't be able to do because of COVID, but that's just one of the many things that they do. We do offer a lot of programs for the children to participate in before and after school, to again make sure that we are enriching the whole child, not just with academics. And a lot of the programs that we establish are based on interest, but regardless of the topic of the club, we do make sure that we integrate math, science, arts, and technology into it, and science. So during the day though, the students are able to perform in chorus, 4th grade and 5th grade performances, and they meet weekly to get ready for that. We have promise time tutoring after school in reading and math. We have lab time that the kids can come in before or after school to get a head start on their online learning. We have a strong student council program, multicultural committee, and some clubs that we've had in the past are Crazy 8 math clubs, Lego club, coding, craft, art. We've had gardening club, we've had book clubs, and we have STEM clubs this year from grades 2 to 5. And again, these are based on interest, but also they are targeted to hit a lot of the standards that we need to make sure the students are learning. And it's good because they get to see the relationship to what they're learning to the why. We are a uniform school, and this is a picture showing you a little bit of what the colors look like. So as you see, all the students are wearing sneakers. That is the only footwear attire allowed. White or black solid socks. Navy also. If they have designs, we're just going to tell them to pull them down because we only allow those during crazy sock days. You'll notice that all of them have navy colored bottoms. They could be pants or shorts for the gentlemen. And for the young ladies, they could be a shorts, of course, pants, a skirt, a skirt, or a jumper. Like you see the girl on the left side, the second from the left, that jumper is put over a uniform colored shirt where you still see the sleeve. So it's not the uniform dresses, it's the jumpers that are permitted. They are allowed 3 different colors of clothes, tops to wear. You'll see the hunter green.
Right.
The hunter green, the burgundy, and the light blue. Those are the only 3 colors that they can pick, and they are polo style uniform. You don't see ruffles, you don't see laces, you don't see any kind of designs. The only time the students are permitted to be outside of uniform is if it's specially designated by me because we're doing some special event and they have a non-uniform day, or it's neon day and they're wearing neon colors, which I will be sure to make sure parents are communicated with well in advance so their child can participate. And on Fridays, actually the last day of the week, students are able to wear spirit shirts. So if you buy a membership with PTA, you also have an option of buying a PTA shirt that supports Starkey, so you can wear that shirt. Gifted students have their own shirts. Student Council this year is going to be purchasing their shirts. So those Starkey related shirts are allowed to be worn on Fridays with uniform bottoms. We are a school right now that's 8:45 to 2:55. And my understanding is those school hours will continue again next year. Currently, we do have a community partnership with a grant in the district that allows all our Starkey students to receive breakfast and lunch at no cost. So the students can come in the morning and receive a warm breakfast with breakfast cart and eat in class this year. And then of course, lunch is an entree of choice that they'll get again at no cost. If there are entree items typically provided that they can purchase through an account that you could establish if you choose to have them eat ice cream, which we allow once a week, or another little snack like chips or what have you. But again, that's not something we provide. That would be something you would have to put in an account for them to purchase. We do expect our students to be here every day on time through the whole day. Of course, this year with COVID, we are being a little bit more lenient because we don't want any student who has symptoms or anybody at their house who has symptoms to allow their child to come either. But typically, we do have a high attendance rate of 95%. We are very proactive in making sure our students who do miss school are intervened to find out what the barriers are and what we could do to support them to get them here at school so that we can maintain that high attendance. As you know, our job is to teach them the academics, the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s, but we can't do that unless they're here. So it's really, really important, even in kindergarten, where we establish good habits, that they're here starting from the first day on time the whole day. We do, so another important part of, that's okay. Another important part of our points of pride, if you go to the next slide, is how we perform on our state tests. Is our safety procedures. And that is something that you'll notice when I do my school tours. I'll share with the families oftentimes. That's the one thing I will not apologize for if you don't agree with the safety practice we have here on campus, because it is all in the name of keeping our students safe. And usually those decisions are vetted through our SAC committee, our teachers. It's been tried out before it's been rolled out and communicated, but it's in the name of keeping your child safe. Right now, we do have limited volunteers. Well, actually, we don't have any volunteers or any visitors on campus because of COVID. But when we do get returned to allowing them back on, they will have to be level 2 volunteers to be alone with your student, which means they've had a nationally intense background check and cleared. Our campus is locked at all times. The only times the gates are open is during arrival and dismissal, and even then we have staff on duty manning them to make sure no one comes in except the students. We have a crisis plan in place that is updated and relevant and related to the teachers. So in case there's any issue, gas leaks, anything that we'd have to evacuate for, we're all well prepared for that. We do drills every month for fire drills. We do safety drills every month also, and tornado drills every semester once. We have a screening process that your badges run through every time you come, and it will alert us if there's issues. However, when you do come to school, please know that you will need your ID if you're planning to have, when we go back to normal operations and parents are allowed to come have lunch with their child on Fridays, you will need your ID, and anyone that you put on your office card as an emergency contact will be able to have contact with your child. But if they're not listed on there, just know we will have to contact you to make sure that you're okay with it, because again, safety is that important. And we do have a full-time school safety officer assigned to us. Officer Morrison is a retired Marine officer who is very vigilant about monitoring the campus, walking around, making sure every door is locked, the gates are secured, and we are very fortunate to have him. We have multiple cameras put up through the school and the cafeterias so that we can even further monitor activity at school. So we do have parents that work, and oftentimes their work schedule isn't our school hours of 8:45 to 2:55. So we do offer the after-school program with the YMCA. They're here as early as 6:30 a.m. and as late as 6 p.m. The slide is inaccurate, so if you could adjust that in your notes if you're taking any. It's 6:30 a.m. until 6 p.m. And you can contact them at the number on the slide, 320-0319, and ask for Miss Tracy. She's our after-school care director. And they are very good about making sure the kids that need tutoring are excused to go do the tutoring. They supervise the students with lots of physical activity and snack time and homework time. And once again, I am Audrey Chafin, the principal here at Starkey Elementary, and there's my assistant principal, Ms. Harris, is with us, and she has a lot of roles here at Starkey, including being our curriculum and testing coordinator. So she's going to teach us about what testing would look like in kindergarten.
Good evening, everyone. As Ms. Chafin said, my name is Tamika Harris, and I'm excited that I'm the assistant principal here. This is my 5th year. And as Ms. Chafin stated, yes, one of my roles is the testing coordinator. And in kindergarten, they do have several assessments as far as like running records, also phonemic awareness, letters, letter sounds, sight words, and one test that they are administered, which all the students on campus take, is the MAP test. The MAP test actually is a computerized adaptive test that adjusts questions based off of their response. This test, it begins in the winter session for kindergarten because they have other tests that they're taking, entry tests to see how their skills are in letters and letter sounds and just those early foundational skills in kindergarten. Now this MAP test, like I said, it is computerized, where they were able to take the MAP test on the iPad this year. And that was proven to be very successful. You know, kids now are very familiar with iPads. It was in the past, they had to use a mouse and go to the computer lab to take the test. But we're excited to say that with them using the iPads and also giving them the opportunity to test in small group settings with their teacher, we actually had in reading 72% of the students in kindergarten were proficient on the test. And when math, 76% of the kindergarten students were proficient on the test. And our school goal for MAP is in ELA and math is 65% proficient. So we're excited that kindergarten is doing extremely well. So you have a great bunch of teachers in front of you that are ensuring that your children are going to be ready to read and have all those foundational skills that they need. I know it sounds like a lot of tests that I mentioned. However, these tests are very informative for you because you'll know, wow, my child actually knows letters, or I need to help them with these particular letters. And it also helps you know what sight words or any math skills that you need to help them with. And also it helps the teacher gauge their instruction within class so they can differentiate instruction in their lessons based off of your students' needs. And so that's some of the many benefits of assessing. And then with these tests and ensuring that they're able to differentiate the lessons, we know that students will be successful and be able to read and solve all sorts of math problems. You'll be excited to see the growth that takes place from the beginning to the end of the year.
Thank you, Ms. Harris.
You're welcome.
So when you first arrive at Starkey, you will see one of these faces. Ms. Stillwell used to be in our front office. She is now back with me as my secretary and the school's bookkeeper. Ms. Annabelle is our DMT, and she will be the one who will help you the most with your registration process. Ms. Laura is our front desk receptionist, and she will be the friendly face that you'll see when you first arrive. And Ms. Linda is in and out helping wherever we need her. She's a jack of all trades for us, covering lunches, helping in the classrooms, whatever we need. And that's Ms. Linda. And Ms. Vicki is our volunteer coordinator, who I'm hoping next year you will get to know very well and to help coordinate your schedule to volunteer, whether it's on field trips as a chaperone or in the classroom or at home. We also have our specialists that I'd like to have you look at. So our PE department, I want to let you know that most of these specialists are award-winning in the field that they cover. They are dynamic, they are engaging, they are child-centered. We are so blessed to have each and every one of them. And we'll start with Mr. Moravec, who has his own child going here, and I think he's gonna bring his other son next year. He may be on the call with us. So that's Mr. Moravec, and Ms. Doyle is our other PE teacher. They have help with Ms. Cindy and Mr. David, who are also in the PE department. So between the four of them, they're running a very, very rigorous program. Ms. Hilliard is our music teacher, who, when we get back to normal, will be doing performances with the children at every grade level. Ms. Leash has art program where she's constantly receiving recognition for students being put in exhibits that she submits. Ms. Whalen is our gifted teacher, and right now Ms. Clark is our librarian. Our kindergarten team right now is 6 teachers. So we're allowed 6 teachers because we have that many students registered here at Starkey. It changes year to year based on how many enroll. I'm positive that we'll continue having, if not 6, maybe 5, but that's the least that we'll have. We tend to have a lot of kindergarten students who, by the way, their teacher per student ratio is 1 to 18. So we have Ms. Dixon, Ms. Grasso, Ms. Lance, Ms. Mann, Ms. Nault, and Ms. Quinn. And they are each going to take turns telling you a little bit about the day your child will have.
Welcome to kindergarten.
I was just going to introduce you, Ms. Lance.
I'm sorry.
She's the team leader, and she'll begin the presentation for you.
Welcome to kindergarten at Starkey Elementary. My name is Melissa Lance, as Ms. Chafin shared with you. This is my 21st year in kindergarten at Starkey. And I currently have 2 of my own children here at Starkey, 1 in kindergarten this year. So I understand your excitement and your anticipation of what is to come. And we hope that tonight we'll share some of our excitement with you about our kindergarten program here at Starkey. At our school, we take lots of pride in doing things that are developmentally appropriate for our kindergarten children and providing extra activities for them to really enjoy and to involve their families. So some of those events include Meet the Teacher, which will take place the week before school starts. You'll be invited onto campus to meet your child's teacher and see the classroom and get more information about how the beginning of the kindergarten school year will start. We also have Back to School Night, which takes place usually within the first month of kindergarten. And that is a time for adults to come and learn more about the expectations, how the classroom is run, and what your child will be learning this year or next year in kindergarten. We typically have a Thanksgiving luncheon during the school day that you are invited to come and join your child for Thanksgiving lunch. Our PE department usually puts on a fabulous tumbling show each December after the students have completed a tumbling unit. On a typical year, we would have a kindergarten concert in the evening, and your families would be invited to come and watch your child perform on the stage. And we pride ourselves in having student-led conferences in the second semester, where your family comes and joins your student in the evening, and they take you on a tour of their classroom and discuss all of the things that they are learning and how they are working in their classroom. We have field day each March. That's a time when all grade levels go out to the PE field. It's hosted by our PE teachers, and we have a great time running in races and promoting just being healthy and having lots of fun. Our PTA hosts Muffins with Mom in May, where we invite you before school to come and enjoy some snacks with your student and do some reading together, and then head off to your day. You are allowed to walk your student to class that day and just get a little bit of a feel for what goes on campus in the morning. We are super excited that most of the time in May, we have Jack Hartman here for a concert for our kindergarten and pre-K students. And we have Goodies with Grandparents in September, also hosted by our PTA. Our literacy night is typically a night during the school year where you are invited to our campus or to an event at another campus. And it is a night where we promote ways that you and your family can help your child with literacy in fun ways and in ways that will help them on some of the testing that takes place. And that's the same as math night. Last year, our math night was actually held at Publix, and the students got to go on a scavenger hunt and learn about how math helped them even in everyday times like grocery shopping. We have Pajama Day every year. It's a very big favorite part of kindergarten. The PTA also hosts Donuts with Dads, and we celebrate Dr. Seuss's birthday school-wide, thinking about all of the rhyming words that we can make and lots of fun things that have to do with literacy. Our PTA also hosts a Spring Fling each spring, a time when you are invited to come and have a fun time with your family, as well as raise some money to help support our school. We go on several field trips during the kindergarten year, and we end the school year with Water Day, which is always lots of fun. We are going to ask that if you have any questions, if you would write them down, since it's a little bit different to be doing a Zoom call and we're not in person. If you have questions as we go, if you would just jot them down, and at the end, we'll have a time where we will answer your questions. Since you can't be here on our campus in person, we thought that we would bring our kindergarten classrooms to you. We currently have 6 classrooms. One of them, my own classroom, is completely virtual at this time. So you're going to see 5 pictures of the classrooms that have students face-to-face currently. As you can see, they're very colorful. They are set up right now to make sure that everyone is socially distanced and safe, but they still include lots of fun things that we feel is important for our kindergarten day. They look like cheery places to be, don't they? And now we're ready to share with you the parts of the kindergarten day. I'd like to introduce Megan Dixon. And please note that due to some of the current guidelines and safety protocols, some of our parts of our day have been adjusted at this time for our student safety.
Ms. Quinn, this is you.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about 4 different things that we do towards the beginning of our day. The first one is warm up and bear huddle. So every morning we start with a warm up or a bear huddle. This is a way to bring the class together, get our wiggles out through songs and movement, get focused on the important things that are going to be happening throughout the day. Recess is something else the students get every day for 20 minutes on the kindergarten playground. This is an unstructured time where students can make their own decisions about what they want to do. And along with the playground equipment, there's also days we might bring out tricycles or hula hoops or jump ropes or sidewalk chalk, different activities for them to do on the playground. Writer's Workshop is an important part of our day, and that's a time where students learn various writing skills. We start by telling stories through pictures, moving on to adding characters, labels for the items in their picture stories, and then we move on to basic sentences. By the end of the year, the students should be able to write a 3-page story with 1 or more sentences on each page. So it's pretty impressive by the end of the year what they're capable of doing. This is also a time when the teacher, when we start, we work together as a group, and then the students go off individually, and that's a time when the teacher can work with small groups or students individually on where they are in their writing. And shared reading is an interactive reading experience that occurs when the students join in or share in the reading of a book or other text while guided and supported by the teacher. This is a time that we might work on letters or sounds or sight words, and we also model the skills of proficient readers, including reading with fluency and expression. We also work with phonics. Oops, I'm sorry.
Hi everyone, I am Megan Dixon. I'm one of our kindergarten teachers. I'm going to share just a couple other points of our day. The first one that I'm going to start talking about is Fun with Phonics, also known as WordWorks. So during this time, we take the kiddos, we work on their alphabet knowledge, their letter sounds, and their sight words. At the beginning of the year, we really focus on their letters, getting their letter formations, and so that way as the year progresses and we start building on those, they are ready to read and write. During the Reader's Workshop, we start with a whole group lesson, focusing on the strong skills that readers need as they progress through the year. And then the kids usually spend about, a few minutes in their book bins reading books that are on their grade level that they can read independently, and the teacher can walk around during this time to listen to the kiddos read. And then we have literacy centers. These are times that the teacher pulls a small group to work on reading skills with kiddos in, a setting that's teacher with about 3, maybe 4 kiddos at our table at a time, maybe even less depending on the group and what they're doing that day. And the kiddos can go out for independent time working on their reading skills, their sight word that they've learned this week. Their reading centers during this time are differentiated, which just means that there are options based off of what each kiddo's level is. So we have ones that range from just letters all the way up to writing sentences and reading their books. And here, just.
Hi, I'm Miss Mann. So every day we eat lunch at 10:35. Students can bring their lunch, or they have 3 to 4 options to choose from in the cafeteria. In previous years, with COVID this year, this isn't happening, but in previous years on Fridays, families can come and eat lunch with their ID and check in the office first. Our math instruction, we do a calendar routine to start, and then we do a whole group lesson. And throughout the school year, our students will learn counting to 100, working with numbers 1 to 20 and writing numbers 1 to 20, naming shapes, composing and analyzing shapes, and addition and subtraction with intent. Math tubbing is used to supplement math instruction with manipulatives for hands-on learning. And Greenbox is the technology we use in math, and this is a computer-based program that is based on the individual math ability.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Grasso. Now I'm going to talk to you about specials. So throughout the week, the students will go to either PE, art, or music. And as you saw at the beginning of the slideshow, the teachers that they will be going with. So the first one is PE, where they practice physical skills outside with 4 different PE teachers. Then one day a week, they'll go to art with Miss Leash, and they'll practice drawing and cutting and fine motor skills. And then one more day during the week, they'll go to music class, and they'll practice singing and dancing, and also practice for their yearly concert.
For play, we have recess every day for 20 minutes, and we also integrate inside play to help with building social and emotional skills.
For science throughout the year, the students will learn about physical science, earth science, and life science. Some of the subjects that they'll learn within those three are about gravity, the sun and the moon, sorting, five senses, and the life cycle. During a typical school year, the students will get to garden with someone that comes into our school, and then they get to harvest their crops and try the vegetables. And during a typical school year, they can go to our library and check out books once during the week, and then they'll go for a mini lesson or practice in some STEM bins.
Hi, I am Veda Null. I am another one of the kindergarten teachers here at Starkey. With dismissal, there are 3 different ways the students can go home. They are bus students and they are walked to the bus circle by an adult. The biggest thing we always stress with dismissal is they're never alone. They're always with another adult to walk them there. The YMCA students, if you have your child sign up for YMCA, a YMCA staff member will come to each kindergarten classroom and pick up the students that are going to the YMCA and walk them back to the cafeteria where our YMCA is. Car riders and walkers are walked out to the car circle. Typically, car riders and walkers are dismissed a little bit early compared to the rest of the grade levels to help make it for a smoother dismissal time, and we get those kiddos out before the whole school is out at the car circle at the same time. When you come through the car circle, you'll see that there are 7 posts for pickup. We ask that you stop at a number and go all the way forward until you reach an empty spot. And even if you are running a little bit late, students are always supervised until pickup. And if you are running a little late, we always ask you to give the office a phone call. The first week of school, we ask that you please join us for Meet the Teacher in August to help meet your child's teacher and to help see the classroom. It helps get the students more acclimated. They know what to expect on the first day of school. They know where to go. They know who to look for. And it gets them excited and not as nervous to come to school on the first day. And pending the current directives, parents can walk their child to school during the first 3 days. We ask that when you walk your child to school, you start to let them show you the way. That way on the 3rd day or the 4th day, they feel more confident to get to the classroom. As always, there'll be plenty of staff members on campus to help get them to where they need to be safely and timely. But the more confident they feel, the more excited they are to do it and to come to school. Prior to kindergarten, there are quite a few things you can do to help get your kiddo ready for the first day. You can read to your child nightly and talk about the book that you are reading. Are there people in the books? What's happening in the books? Just to start that conversation and to start getting the students interested in books. You can also help your child learn their letters by recognizing letters on a paper or flashcards or even in the environment. Oh, you're driving by Chick-fil-A. What does that start with? And they can see the letters and start seeing them around. You can also teach your child to write his or her name with the first letter uppercase and the rest lowercase. I know this is a lot that you think they should learn in kindergarten, and they will if they still need help with it, but it gives them such a head start if they come ready for it. We also ask that you practice some self-help skills. In kindergarten, each classroom has their own individual bathroom. However, we are not allowed to go in the bathroom to help them with buttoning their pants, unbuttoning their pants, going by themselves. So we ask that when you are in a bathroom, usually, oh, can you go by yourself? Can you shut the door? Can you do everything you need to do? Can you come out with everything buttoned, zipped, things like that? It sounds basic, but they're used to always having someone helping them. And when there's a class of 18 other students, they need to be able to do that part by themselves. Also in the lunchroom, there are plenty of lunch staff members that can help with opening items and opening lunch boxes, but it goes quicker if your child knows how to open the lunch box that they have. If you send them with a bunch of Tupperwares and things like that, that they know how to open those or at least start to open them, and following some step-by-step directions. All of these things can help your child get ready for the first day of kindergarten and have a great year.
In case you're looking for some resources On the Pinellas County School Board website, there is a lot of resources for kindergarten students who are preparing to come to school. You will find a checklist of development skills for 4-year-olds, as well as some countdown to kindergarten activities. There's a short video for your child to watch about preparing to come to kindergarten, and there is a list of kindergarten standards. That website is listed there for you if you'd like to write it down, excuse me. Also, we put together a few other websites that might be helpful to you as you prepare or think about your child's next endeavor as a student in a kindergarten classroom. Reading books about coming to kindergarten will also help your child prepare. It'll give them some ways to think about and talk about their feelings that they're having. It'll give you a chance to talk with them and let them know that some of the things that they might be feeling are normal and some of the things that they can expect when they would get to a kindergarten classroom. These are some of our favorites. And now we're ready to take questions. So we will stop the screen sharing in just a moment and we will hold a question and answer session. What we would like you to do is to click on the chat box and type your question into the chat box if you have one, and then we will take a moment to answer those questions. Thank you so much for coming tonight or for attending tonight. And we are looking forward to a fabulous year of kindergarten with your student next year.
While we're waiting for some questions to pop up in the chat box, I just want to remind everyone that kindergarten registration window is open. Please make sure that you have a user ID and a password so that you can register. And to get that user ID and password for our portal, you'll have to go into any school with a photo ID and they will issue you one. Here at our school, you would come in with your ID, ask for Ms. Annabelle, who will give you the most help. Any of them can help you, but Ms. Annabelle will help you make sure the whole registration process is complete. Again, the sooner you do it, the better, because you're going to need to get your birth certificate, a proof of residency, immunization shots, physical examinations. There's a collection of things that you'll have to start gathering, but it all starts with getting a user ID and password. Again, you just need an ID at any school to obtain that for our portal.
We have somebody asking, can you provide the list of books again?
No, the kids enrolled in VPK are not automatically registered. Zone students come to Starkey. VPK isn't always zone students. So you'd have to register with your zone school for kindergarten, or if you want a special attendance somewhere else for another school that may be closer to your work, you would have to go through the application process for that. But kindergarten registration has to be done even if you're in the school system with VPK. You just won't need all of the paperwork we've submitted for the most part. There's 18 students for every teacher. That's typical. Sometimes it's 17, sometimes it's 19, but we hover around 18.
The time for kindergarten pickup is about 5 minutes prior to the rest of the school, which dismisses at 2:55.
Someone's asking if pre-K 3 is the same school time as kindergarten.
Yes. They're eligible for half days, so they can leave at 11:30 if they want, but the full day is our regular school day, 8:45 to 2:55.
If you are asking for some of the books to be listed again, we're having them typed into the chat box for your reference. Where are uniform clothes purchased?
Most families tend to find them at Walmart or Target. I know Gap sells them, some get them online. I believe Old Navy is another option. Anywhere will have them. They're pretty popular in the schools right now. Just be sure to get only our colors: navy bottoms, burgundy, hunter green, and light blue tops.
A parent asked if there was a nap time.
We don't have a set nap time in kindergarten. We have a resting with books at the beginning of the year and to help them transition into the school day with the longer schedule. But then we do phase it out. It's not a set time for the entire year.
Also, someone posted in the chat some good places to buy uniforms. So if you're looking for some references.
In regards to the uniforms, I believe the comment has suggested getting them early so
Yeah.
that they're still in stock when you need them in August. I would encourage you to buy pants. You might not be thinking about it in the summer, but when winter comes, they're harder to find. So go ahead and have a couple of pairs of pants on stock.
And they bring snack like they do in pre-K. We do have a snack. We do give snack at the end of the day. We have typically a early lunch. It is usually a class snack that is donated and then we share out. Someone else has asked, what is taught for history or civics?
We don't currently have any social studies standards as a part of our day, our typical day. Those things are worked into holiday celebrations as part of the standards, how holidays are celebrated around the world, or we bring those in through the use of literature through our shared reading or our read aloud time. But in the elementary school level, at this time, there is no social studies as a part of our curriculum.
The late bell rings at 8:45 and dismissal bell rings at 2:55. Please know our campus gates open at 8:15. So the closer you get here to 8:15, the better. That way you're not running close to being marked tardy. I'd like to close the evening with thanking all of the teachers. Thank you so much for putting on such a nice meeting and I think very, very informative. They make me so proud. I appreciate you teachers so much. Also, please know if you could leave us any feedback in the chat room. I know we ask for questions, but we're open to having feedback as well. This is our first time doing this as a Zoom. So we're always open to suggestions and improvements. So please feel free to leave comments as well as suggestions. Thank you. Mr. Moravec. Special attendance requests, are there? So you could put the application in and they have multiple windows open for you to apply to get in here. There usually is a waiting list here at Starkey. However, there are times in the district when they know circumstances like with COVID this year, they knew it was a hardship for the family, so they just went ahead and granted it to everyone. But it really comes down to what the numbers look like for how many teachers are at that school. But you will want to get that in early and just know, even if you're on a waiting list, there's still hope come August. Thank you all for attending. Have a good night.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.